Okay, lesson 5.5 is about converting using the US system of measurement. And we're going to be learning about things like conversion factors. A factor is another word for a what? What is a factor? Like when I said you take out the common factors when you're multiplying. What are factors? Common what? No, factors and multiples are different. A factor is a number. Okay? It's the common number that's in both numbers. If you have 5 over 15, what is the common factor here? 5. 5 and 15. How many 5s are in 5? 1. How many 5s are in 15?
1/5.
3.
3. So the 5s are the what? The 5s are the factors, are the common factor. Okay? So we're talking about a factor, and in this case the factor is going to be a fraction. It's going to be a number that we use to convert. That's why it's called a conversion factor. Okay? Maddie?
What is that thing on the board? That like that thing with the circle that looks like an arm. Where? Like it's down on procedure on the first one.
Yeah,
Right,
the
the
AM.
AM circle thing.
The O is, it's an O, it's supposed to be amount,
amount.
but the O is misplaced.
Okay.
The word must have gotten moved or something. So it's right, the starting amount is part of the procedure.
So is the bottom. The B.
Where?
On bottom.
It's at the very though. It's
Yeah,
at
bottom.
It's pronounced on top and bottom.
Bullet
The
point.
B is like
Oh
on.
yeah, the B is in the wrong spot.
It looks cool. No, teacher, it looks cool.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't get it.
So it's, when you move the words around, sometimes the computer doesn't grab them all.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, we can.
So here's how you use this. You first of all, conversion factor. You need to know a little bit about a conversion factor. They have different labels. One of them will be in feet and the other one in yards, for example. Okay? Because feet and yards are related, aren't they? There's 3 feet in 1 yard. So this fraction is not a, it's really a ratio of one thing to another, okay? This fraction is a ratio that compares 2 different amounts. A ratio, R-A-T-I-O, ratio, okay? Because it compares 2 different things. Feet and yards, 3 over 1. Feet and inches. There's 1 foot in 12 inches, or 12 inches in 1 foot. There's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Or there's 8 pints in 1 gallon. Those are all conversion factors, okay? So, here's what we're going to be doing. Here's the procedure. Let me erase this. We're going to be taking an amount like 40 inches and figuring out the number of feet in that. Okay? So, you write the starting amount over 1, it says. You'll be given a starting amount, you write it over 1. Start with that. Then, you're going to multiply. And if you're starting with inches and you're going to feet, then you want to think of changing this label to feet. So that's going to stay on the top line, like this. Okay? from inches to feet. Now, which of these conversion factors compares inches and feet? Which of these compares inches and feet? Caleb? The second one, 1 foot over 12 inches. The ratio of feet to inches. So you use that number, 1 foot over 12 inches. And that's the conversion factor that you multiply. You're going to pick one that helps you to figure out and go from inches to feet. Okay? Now, how do you multiply this? 40 inches over 1 times 1 over 12. How do you multiply that? Luke? Well, it's just to what? The numbers are in what form? I mean, they're in fraction form, aren't they? They're in fraction form. So it's just multiplying two fractions. Are there any common factors in there? What? Besides 1. 40 and 12. What numbers, do they have any common factors in those numbers? 40 and 12. Well, are they both even, Johnny? So then, what numbers in both? No. If they're both even, then they can both be divided by what? By 2. How many 2's are in 40? 20. Right. So there's 20 2's if you take out the 2's, and 6 2's in 12. Can you do that again? Then there is 10 more and 3 more. Or we could have gone to the greatest common factor of what? If there's 2's twice, that means there are 4's in there. Yep. So we could have taken out the 4's right away and gotten the same. Okay? But if you don't see the 4's, if you just recognize they're both even, so divide them both by 2. Take out the 2's. And then multiply. So what do you end up with? 10 times 1 is 10. And 1 times 3 is 3. And then change that to a mixed number. 3 and 1/3. So there's 3 and 1/3 feet in 40 inches. We converted inches to feet. So this is 3 and 1/3 feet. And the label is really important on these. Okay? Now, let's go to some examples. Number 5 in your book. Number 5.
Are these all
Can you do this again? Number five gives you 3 quarts, and you have to convert it to gallons. 3 quarts to gallons. This is on page 259. It's part of your assignment.
Do we have to write these down in our notes or our assignments?
Both. Yes.
I would start it down.
Garrett.
On the page that we're looking at.
Yep.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Emily.
What's the ratio?
A ratio is a fraction that compares to different amounts. Okay? So remember, a fraction can be the amount out of the total, or it can be a ratio that compares two different amounts. Two different, where the amounts are something different. They have a different label. Alright? You can compare the number of 6th graders to the number of 7th graders, for example. That's a ratio. You have 21. Yeah, so 22 6th graders over 21 7th graders. That's a ratio of 6th graders to 7th graders. Okay? They have different labels. But if you're figuring it out of the total, you can say 22 6th graders out of 43 students. That's a fraction, because it's the amount out of the total. This is a ratio because it's the amount of one compared to the amount of the other label. So, if we're going from quarts to gallons, find the ratio that compares quarts and gallons on that chart. There's a chart on page 257. Page 257. Find quarts and gallons. Merlin? Gallon and quarts. Okay, 1 gallon, since we're going to gallons, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. 4 quarts. So we put the gallons on top, because that's what we're going to. We're converting quarts to gallons. And multiply that. Yeah, 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. So it's 3/4 gallons. Okay? It's really, the hardest part of this is just setting it up, but it's really just figuring out what are you going to, and then find the ratio that compares the two. Okay? Again, start by writing down the one that you're given. We're given that is 3 quarts. Okay? Then draw an arrow to what you want to convert to. Since it's quarts to gallons, I drew the arrow from quarts to gallons. And then you find the one that you need. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. And then multiply this number times this number equals the answer. Okay? Any questions? So you're going to do 1 through, actually 2 to 28 evens. 2 to 28 evens.